Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Thursday Live. We are at it again. It's another week. It's another Thursday. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if we're live. I'm so excited to see you guys joining me today for the live. Today, we have a really fun topic. It's going to be one of the most important skills that I can teach you in creating momentum quickly in your business. So who wants to learn about the skill set you need in order to start creating momentum and seeing results quickly in your business? Leave me a hello in the comment as you're joining me today so I know you can hear me. Caitlin, good to see you. Good to see you joining me. Let me know who's here so I can say hello. If you are watching this on the replay, comment replay so I know that you're catching this training, and let me know if this was valuable for you today. I'm really excited to hear your feedback on this lesson because, again, this is one of those skill sets that I don't hear enough people teaching anybody about. Hello, Sarah. This is a skill set that's going to take you from like snail's pace growing your business results to momentum and things happening quickly, right? The difference between taking a year to get somewhere and getting there in like 3 months, okay? And it's a skill set that requires practice, and you have to do it over and over and over again, okay? It's not something that comes naturally. So what we're talking about today, hello, good to see you joining me. Let me know if you're on here. Please say hello. I love it when you guys engage because it makes it so fun for me. So today's topic is really diving into identifying the top fears of taking your business online, right? How we let those fears control us in our decision making and kill momentum, all right? So we want to think that the reason that we're not succeeding is that we just haven't found that right strategy yet. And this is totally true a lot of the time, right? Hey, Anna, there are so many strategies out there, and a lot of times they're not very good, right? But what I want to offer you today, and I really want you to pay attention to this lesson. If you're just a strategy seeker and you're downloading all the strategies and resources, pay attention to this lesson today. Because even if you have the right strategy, all right, even if you invest into all of the strategies, right, and you know exactly what to do, you know exactly what you're being taught, what everybody's saying to do, people will stay stuck in paralysis and fear, right, until we go in and we learn how to manage our brains and move through it. It's a real thing, okay? It's a real thing that happens. Let me know if you've ever gotten into analysis paralysis just by trying to figure out the right strategy, because there's so many people talking about so many different strategies. Leave me a yes in the comments if you've ever felt analysis paralysis with all of the strategies out there. Growing a business, you know, how to pick a niche, the best way to market yourself, sales, all of the things that we're told that we need to master to get our business off the ground and be successful. It feels so overwhelming. So I want to talk about this skill of learning how to manage our brains and move through it when we're hit with that, okay? Because it's inevitable. If you haven't experienced it yet, if you're watching this and you're not commenting yes, and you're like, no, I've never had analysis paralysis before, hold on to your pants because you will inevitably get there. It's unavoidable. So the skill set we're talking about today is how to move through that when it happens. All right? This is the thing that can literally cost you everything in your business. Because if you're stuck in paralysis and in indecision, it's not going to work. All right? You're not going to create there's no movement happening. Right? So if you know what you need to do and you've made a decision and you struggle with follow through on it, right? You struggle with the follow through of getting it done, it's going to sabotage your success, right? And what else it's going to do is it's going to reinforce this belief that you have about yourself that you don't follow through on things and that you don't get things done. So the next time you need to make a decision on something you need to do, you're going to bump up against that belief that's going to sabotage you, like maybe I can't do it because maybe I'm not going to follow through, right? And so it reinforces the wrong patterns into our brain, right? So today we're going to be talking all about, paralysis and fear and how to handle it head on, right? Recognize that it's there. Everybody has to face it. So nothing's gone horribly wrong with you or your brain. We're just going to talk about how to handle it so we don't let it sabotage our business and slow us down. So this is one of those emotions, right? Fear, doubt, it never goes away. So I hate to break it to you if you're thinking, maybe it's just because I'm just getting started. I mean, maybe that's why I'm feeling this way. And then eventually I'm going to get to this place where, I feel pretty confident and I never have to deal with fear or doubt. I hate to break it to you, but those emotions are there at every level of the game, okay? It's something that goes on constantly as you're growing to new levels, right? Because whenever you embark on anything new, something you've never done before, right? Those emotions are inevitably there because now you are setting a goal to do something that your brain is going to think, well, maybe I can't do this. I haven't done it yet. I don't have past evidence of it. And fear and doubt are going to be there. So just recognize it's normal, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to walk through it. Okay, so at the beginning, every level of the game, you're going to have to bump up against that emotion. And if you learn the skill I'm going to teach you today, you'll be able to handle it every time it comes up. Okay? It's something that you have to practice. So the first thing that we need to understand about doubt and uncertainty is that doubt and uncertainty fall into the category of emotions, right? And what we know about emotions, what do we know about emotions? They drive all of our behaviors, right? How many of you know that when you are feeling a certain way, you tend to take a certain action? Think about your clients. What do your clients do when they feel an emotion, right? For some of our clients, they eat. For some of our clients, they drink. And it could be any emotion, right? Some of our clients will eat when they're sad. Some of our clients will drink when they're sad. Some of our clients will drink when they're excited. And they'll celebrate and they'll say, hey, let's go get a drink. I feel like I deserve a drink. So all of these emotions that we have drive behaviors. It's the same in our business. All right? So doubt and uncertainty fall into the category of emotions. We know that emotions are what dictate and drive our behaviors, right? But here's the interesting point about doubt and uncertainty. These are the most common emotion that we have in our business when we set a goal to do something we have never done before. When you feel this emotion come over you, doubt, uncertainty, the behavior that they actually drive is a paralyzing action, right? It's the behavior of inaction. Hey, John. So we may think that when we're feeling doubt and uncertainty, we don't take a lot of action. We don't have a lot. We're not being driven into a lot of behavior, but the behavior of not taking action is still an action. Like we're still doing something. But the problem is we're doing the exact opposite of what's going to take us to our goal. We're creating no momentum, right? So when you don't take action and you're just sitting in that uncertainty even more, right? Think about those moments in your life where maybe you had to make a really big decision. How many of you can think of a moment right now where you had to make a big decision? Leave in the comments a time in your life where you had to make a big decision that you were uncertain on. So maybe this for you was having to move, right? I remember a moment in my life where I had to make a big decision about whether I was going to stay in Michigan and get tied down there, put down roots in Michigan, or whether I was going to move across country without anything lined up and create a life for myself in California. That was a big decision. I had to decide, should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? And that behavior, that state of being in uncertainty and being in indecision It's that same feeling that we have in our business when we're like, should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay at my job? Should I leave my job? Should I stay at my job? Should I leave my job? Right? Should I start the business? Should I wait? Should I start the business? Should I wait? That tug of war back and forth is that emotion of uncertainty. It's the very essence of being undecided, right? But even when you're not taking action on choosing to go towards the goal, you're sitting in uncertainty, you are still partaking in an action. That is still an action. It's just not the action that's taking you towards the direction of, like we talked about last week, it's not taking you to Dream Island, right? So I want you to think about those moments in your life where you had to make a big decision, right? Where you made the decision that you wanted it, but then your brain presented all of these questions that had you question whether you really want it. Should I do that right now? Is this the right move? Right? Maybe you're trying to decide if you should move. Maybe you're trying to decide if you should take a different job offer or just stay at the one you're at, or whether you should quit your job and go full-time in your business, right? This is exactly what we're doing when we're trying to grow our coaching business, and we have to make decisions to get to our goal. So when you go back and forth with the decision, right, we call this buffering back and forth, the suffering is happening from the indecision. All of that pain and discomfort that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a heart attack, is coming from the emotion of being undecided, right? It's coming from the emotion of being in doubt, right? That unease, that uncertainty, that fear. And it drives paralysis. It prevents motion. So when you make a decision in your business, the beauty of being in that emotion of feeling very decided is it drives the behavior of forward action, right? When you make a firm decision in your business, right? We call this like an empowered decision, right? There's that emotion of resolve, right? When you're in that decided space, there's no space to second guess yourself and go back in your brain into indecision, right? That emotion of resolve is that it's done. It's figured out. That emotion that it's done, it's decided, from that place, you have to take immediate action. This is critical. This is what's going to change the game for you. For all of you who deal with paralysis and indecision in your business, this is the step you're missing. You make a decision, and when you make the decision, you don't take immediate action. And your brain goes back into indecision and questioning, right? And that's what keeps you stuck. So from that pattern of 1, empowered decision, followed with immediate action, you start to create momentum. The result is momentum in your business, forward momentum, progress, right? And the more you practice this behavior of making empowered decision, taking immediate action, right? So meaning these two behaviors happen almost instantaneously. Decision, action. Decision, done, right? That's what creates momentum in your business and starts to grow and evolve you as a human being. That's why we're on this earth to begin with, to evolve and to grow and to stretch ourselves. This is where it happens. It doesn't happen from thinking about our decisions and puffering with them. It comes from empowered decision, immediate action, momentum. Okay? So then, once you've learned that's the formula, guess what happens? Right? Guess what happens after you make that empowered decision, take immediate action, start creating momentum? Your business starts to grow, you start to evolve, and then guess what? Boom, you're faced with another decision. And the more you train your brain to make empowered, swift decisions, the faster you grow, the faster your business grows, the faster you as a human being evolve, the faster you learn, the faster your clients get results because you're able to teach them that skill, right? Because the moment that you make a decision and the decision lacks committed action, this is really important. Everybody write this down. Decision plus committed action, your brain always falls back into questioning and asking more questions, right? Which creates the emotion. Remember, our emotions are driving our behaviors. It creates the emotion of doubt, uncertainty, unease. And then what behavior does that drive? It drives the behavior of paralysis. So for some of you in your business, that looks like telling yourself, I don't know how to do this right now. I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go do the laundry, right? All of these micro moments throughout our day where we sacrifice our goals by not taking immediate action when we decided on something in our business. Do you guys see this pattern? Leave a yes in the comments if you are still with me, if you are following along, and if this formula makes sense. It's a simple formula. It's not simple to consistently implement. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can understand that this is the formula to success. This is the formula to overcome analysis paralysis, overcome plateaus and feeling stuck. But your brain is still going to fight you. Your brain is still going to be there questioning. Can you really do it? Is this really meant for you? Is this really the right decision? What if you can't do it? What if you do this wrong? What if you mess it up? What if you weren't even meant to do this at all? What if you should just give up on this today? Right? So the only job you have is to be committed to your goal, committed to your why you are doing this more than you are your doubt and your uncertainty and your questioning, right? Because remember, your brain is not going to be strong at this muscle in the beginning. If you haven't practiced the skill of what they call it, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, it's essentially making a goal, feeling scared about your big goal because it's something you've never done before, but you take immediate action and do it anyway. That is in essence what feeling the fear and doing it anyway is. It's the opposite of buffering in uncertainty. And I want to share with you this, I'm telling you this from experience. This is the lesson that I learned in the beginning with my business when I was trying everything out there and stuck in paralysis by trying to research everything. But also, even just this year, I've learned this lesson again and again in my business. The cost of even waiting too long to make a decision, it happens at every level of the game. If we get too attached to something, we just really want it to work and we don't want to let go of the strategy. We're like, oh, I just really want this. Or we get too attached to an employee. It's like, oh, I just really want this employee to get it. I really believe in this person. Let me pour everything into them. It's one of the most expensive things you can do in your business, right? Buffering with instead of making an empowered decision for your business. All right? So in the beginning for you, it's just deciding what direction you need to go to get you to your goal, right? And taking action on that course immediately. Hey, Kristen. This is such an important skill. Do not underestimate the simplicity of this formula. So many people will say, I understand intellectually what you're talking about, but don't actually go out and implement this because it's too easy to stay in that practice pattern of buffering, of paralysis. It feels uncomfortable to take action. The taking action part is the part that's uncomfortable. That's why we leave it out of the formula, right? Just like your client who sets the goal to go to the gym on Monday. And then all day on Monday, they buffer with the decision about whether they're going to put on their trainers and go to the gym. And they wait and they wait and they say they're going to go to the gym at 5 and 8 o'clock rolls around and they're rolling into the gym at like 8 o'clock at night because they buffered with this decision for 3 hours. Okay? We do this in our business as well. So if we know that that's the challenge and we know our brains are wired to stay in fear and they're wired to stay in indecision, right? We have to break out of that pattern. How do we break through this? How do we get out of this pattern? This practice pattern of making decisions and then buffering with them with the discomfort, which just creates more of the discomfort. That's where the suffering comes from, is sitting in the indecision. So let's say you have a decision to make in your coaching business, right? Let's say you have to decide whether you're going to start running ads or whether you should hire a mentor or whether maybe I should change my offer, whatever the decision is, okay? Leave in the comments if you feel like you have a decision to make in your business, or if you've had to make a decision in your business even just this week. All right, so the first step is to, like we talked about, number one, decide and take immediate action. So how do we get ourselves into that place? The most important point for you to remember in order for this whole formula to work is that you cannot make a decision about your business, about the direction your business needs to go, if you are in a state of disempowerment, right? How you know you're in this state is you are lacking belief in yourself. And you can almost tell from your physiology. You're like hunched over, your like hand is on your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can do this. Like, how am I ever gonna make this work? Ugh, like, I don't even know. Seems like such a big decision. You cannot make a decision and take immediate action from that place, right? Because what's going to happen? What kind of decisions do you make from that disempowered state? Bad decisions. Decisions that keep you stuck, right? Decisions that lack belief in yourself, which will never get you to your goal, right? So in order to make an empowered decision that you can take immediate action on, you have to get yourself into an empowered state. So first of all, if you're hunched over and this is how you make decisions from your desk all day, sit up straight, maybe stand up from your desk, move your body, right? Get yourself out of that state of lack, scarcity, woe is me, how am I ever going to make this work? And ask yourself, who do I want to be right now? What example do I want to be right now? How do I want to show up in this moment? What would it look like if I actually believed I was resourceful and capable of making anything work? I was capable of just anything that I need to make happen, I can totally make it happen. What would that feel like if I actually trusted myself to make good decisions? Like, I just believed that what I choose is going to be the right decision, and I'm totally capable of trusting myself. How would I need to feel? What would that feel like in my body? How would I be deciding in my business today if I knew I was always going to take care of myself and have my own back, and I truly, truly believed that I could handle any situation thrown at me? For most of us, the reason we don't make decisions is because we're afraid if we decide, we're not going to be able to handle it if we hit a bump in the road. We're not going to be able to handle it if we mess up, or if we fail, or if we don't hit our goal the first week we try, right? We're not even in belief that we're capable of handling the emotion of failing, right? So how would it feel if you actually believed that you were capable? If you actually believed that you would follow through, right? If you weren't willing to let your past behaviors and your past experiences with failure, with not following through, with staying stuck in analysis, dictate your future? What if you weren't willing to let that hold you back from creating the life you want? What would that feel like to stand in that state and that belief, right? So number one, understand what the goal is. Okay? Ask yourself, what is it I'm looking to achieve here? So in the next 3 months, my goal is 10K per month. Know your goal. What is it? My next goal is 10K per month. Number two, how do you need to feel in order to be in a state to make an empowered decision? What do you need to believe about yourself, your capability as a human being to handle anything, and to know you're going to have your own back and you are going to be okay, right? And the other important thing to mention when you are doing something like setting this impossible goal, if you've never made $10,000 in your life before, maybe the most you've ever made is 5, and you've never had a $10,000 month, and you've definitely never had your own business where you make $10,000 per month, but that's your impossible goal. That's what you're going after. Be very careful who you are sharing it with, all right? Be very careful who you share that goal with. When you're in that state, you've created that state of making an empowered decision, you know you have your own back, right? Be very, very careful in that state who you go out and share it with. This doesn't mean be secretive. This doesn't mean be dishonest. But ask yourself, if I share my goal with this person, is it going to build me up in my belief, or is it going to put doubt in my head? Is it going to put doubt in my belief and put me back into those old patterns of buffering? Right? So I like to think about when I first started my health coaching practice, like full time. I was going to go full time in my health coaching practice. I was no longer, at my regular job, right? Working for the man. And I told my dad, I was on the phone with my dad back in Michigan, told him about it. And from a place of love, my dad loves me so much. His question was, hey, so he has no idea about any of it. Hey, so are you going to be able to, make as much as you were at your other job? Are you going to be able to get by? Are you sure you know what you're doing? Okay, be very, very careful. It's totally normal for your loved ones to have that reaction. It doesn't mean that they're right and that their questioning is valid. It just means that they love you and they care about us, and that is their brain's way of processing it, right? They're looking at it through their lens of belief in that moment about something they don't know enough about, and processing it from all of the decisions that they've seen in the past, all of their awareness about life, all of their brain's way of thinking about things, and just putting it on you in a protective way, right? It's their way of protecting it because they can't see what you see. They have no idea what you're even talking about. They're just wondering if you're going to be okay. Is this the right decision? Do you know what you're doing? And that is the last thought that you need someone putting in your brain when you're already trying to practice getting out of that pattern of analysis paralysis, right? So in the beginning, be very selective about who you share your goals and dreams with, right? If you know your dad and you love him, but he's kind of pessimistic, or maybe your partner is very cautious and he's always kind of glass half empty, but he loves you and he wants to see you succeed. He doesn't mean anything bad by it. Be careful how you share goals with them. In fact, if you are going to share your goals with someone in your life, be very intentional about how you want them to show up for you, right? Hey, this is what I'm doing. I need you to support me right now, and I need you to only share positivity with me. Okay? This is the decision that I'm making that is right for me. I need you to support me on this. I don't need to hear any negativity right now. Can you please only support me for the next 6 months? Can you please only let me hear positive support from you for the next 6 months? I really need you to understand. Or keep it to yourself. Don't share it with your family if you already know them, right? If you know they have maybe bad money mindset or they're just really negative, it's okay. Just go out and surround yourself with the people who are going to build up that state, right? And not accidentally or intentionally tear it down, okay? So go after your goal, put in the hard work, and then they'll ask you how you did it, right? But what I want you to remember is that every time you are faced with the opportunity of making an empowered decision, it's an opportunity for you to evolve, and it's an opportunity for you to grow, okay? And that's the reason that we are on this earth to begin with. So if you're not currently evolving and growing with what you're doing, take a look at this. When was the last time you set an impossible goal and had to practice this muscle of dealing with doubt and uncertainty and getting yourself into an empowered state to make a decision and take immediate action, right? Because what's going to happen when we set a goal and we're here and the goal is we want to get here, there are going to be obstacles along the way. We're going to hit bumps in the road on the way of getting up there. It's not a linear process, right? And those bumps in the road are what are going to require you to learn and make decisions and take more action, right? So this is a skill that you get to repeat every single time you hit a bump in the road on your way of staying committed to that impossible goal. So for whatever it is for you, if it's 10K per month for you, if it's 20K per month, right? And when you haven't practiced this skill and you hit that bump in the road on your way of reaching that goal, your brain is immediately going to tell you a story, right? Oh man, this wasn't meant to be. Oh man, not cut out for this. You need to change that story to change your state. You need to change your state in order to make an empowered decision when you hit obstacles along the way. Are you starting to see why this is one of the most under-taught skills? Everyone's out there teaching strategy, but nobody teaches you how to make decisions on the strategy. Nobody teaches you how to continue to make decisions when you hit bumps in the road and obstacles along the way of that, hitting that impossible goal. How do you get yourself into a state where you can make an empowered decision and take immediate action and create momentum to get out of that obstacle rut? Right? So, one way to shortcut this process, right, we're talking about today, is to find someone that's achieved this. Find someone that has achieved the same goal that you're after. Those are the people you work with. Those are the people that mentor with. Those are the people that you listen to. Those are the people that you open yourself up to what they have to teach you about all of the lessons that they've learned along the way, from getting from here to where you're trying to go, and then explain to you exactly step by step how they got there. Right? Those are the people you want to learn from, because they're going to tell you, focus on this first, then focus on this, and then this, and then this. And here are all of the obstacles that you're going to want to avoid along the way of doing that. Here are all of the traps. Here's all the mind drama you're probably going to experience. Here's how you get out of it. And here's the fastest way to get there, right? So the two biggest skill sets that you can develop in overcoming this trap of buffering with decisions and in doubt and uncertainty is, number one, creating beliefs that serve you, and then creating the ability to overcome obstacles. All right? These are two skill sets that we work on every week in the Online Coach Intensive. Because it's not just enough to throw a strategy at you and say, hey, good luck, have at it, right? It's about supporting you through your own evolving and growing along the way of getting it all together. All right? All right, guys, listen. If you are interested in working together, if you've been stuck in paralysis and not moving forward, if you want to create a coaching business that makes a major difference in the world, a major difference in your clients' lives, but also has you hitting your own income goals and creating freedom in your own life and hitting those 10K months, 20K months, whatever the goal is for you, reach out to me personally on here and talk to me. All right? We'll see what you need. We'll see where you're at. We'll see how we can help you if we can. If not, we'll point you in the direction that will, and get you in momentum towards reaching your goals. All right, guys, that's it for me today. That's what I have for you on this lesson. Leave a heart emoji in the comments if this helped you understand the equation to get unstuck. If you get in a pattern this week where you find yourself buffering in indecision or just buffering with actually taking action, like if you find yourself making a decision and waiting to take action and you notice that buffering pattern, bring awareness to this equation, okay? When you make the decision, follow it with immediate action. Tony Robbins talks about this. Never leave the point of making a decision without taking action. You have to commit to create momentum in your business. All right, my friends, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me and commenting along and being so wonderful. I really do enjoy these trainings and seeing you all hop on here every week. Let me know if these trainings are helpful for you. If there's a specific topic you want me to cover, I would be more than happy to jam on it with you. Leave your questions, leave your requests in the comments so I can see them and take notes and put it in my notebook to do a training on it for you guys. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. Bye-bye.